Is there room for appetite for the legislation to make sure that that land stays protected? Anyone?
Yeah, I think there's definitely appetite for that, for sure. At least certainly from the members of this panel here and Delegate Schlega, who's joining us as well. There's certainly appetite there. I also think that we have to make sure that these power companies, others, are honest brokers here. You know, we've put this land into conservation, which means that by default, the land is now cheaper than it would be if we had it on the free market, right? So they should be paying free market value if we got to that point. I don't think this project should go forward, but if it does, they need to be paying the full freight, which we've subsidized as taxpayers, all of us have here. And we've taken a very laissez-faire policy with energy companies here in Maryland to make sure that they are being responsible partners to our communities.
Delegate Schlega, I want to bring you into this conversation. Thank you for joining us via Zoom here. When it comes to eminent domain, are you hearing concerns, obviously, from community members, from constituents who may have to be faced with the reality of the usage of that?
Right. Mackenzie, the panel is spot on here with a lot of the facts that you're bringing up. Eminent domain, you know, for the folks watching the town hall, just means the government's going to take your land. And typically, the state has to approve that, the Public Service Commission. However, there was a previous high voltage power line project called TransSource. That was the company that was going to put these high voltage lines in Harford County. And I worked with Senator Kristen Phillips-Hill from Pennsylvania, others of us here in Maryland. We were able to shut that project down. However, it is still working its way through the courts. And of really top interest is one of the facts of the case where TransSource said that the federal government can override states' rights on eminent domain, and the court agreed, which is basically saying the federal government can trump the state's ability to stop eminent domain. Of course, if this goes forward, we will fight this all the way to the Supreme Court. This is a 10th Amendment issue, states' rights. Eminent domain should always be a last resort. And, you know, it is not appropriate at this point for anybody to have their land taken from them for these power lines. Everybody's talked about the perfect storm we have on generation. Maryland is not generating enough power. We are importing 40% of the power, and as Delegate Naraki said, when they close the slated power plants that are going to close, we will bring in 70% of our power. Governor Moore has a great opportunity right now to take leadership and put Brandon Shore's power plant back online with natural gas, put Wagner back online. You know, we have to abandon the high-cost offshore wind projects. Solar projects can only play a small part in that portfolio, but we really need to focus